I'm Ella, and I'm dramatic, and I'm problematic.
She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's
Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. Today I'm going to be doing a reading vlog of New Moon. I have the audiobook as well, so I'm probably going to be listening to the audiobook and putting it at max speed and reading through here because that makes it so much easier. I usually don't have physical copies of things, so I'm just listening on audiobook, but if I can follow along, I can even listen to the audiobook faster. So I've read Twilight on this channel like in Midnight Sun around February of this year, so you can check out those videos, and there's gonna be a playlist here of all my Twilight book reviews. It's just like not a lot of Edward, which I don't like, and a lot of Jacob, which I don't like. I'm gonna start listening and reading, and yeah. Okay, so some thoughts now that I'm like just getting into it, and like I don't know, this might be a different kind of vlog, and I'm just gonna walk around and talk shit, but like I mean, I understand, like, I've made the point, and I've said before in videos, that I think Bella's rude, and I've had people be like, she's not rude. Like, it's her birthday, and I understand she's, like, traumatized and upset because she doesn't want to be old. But, like, girl, people are being nice to you, giving you gifts, and, like, she's being extremely rude to them. Pretend for a second, because, like, I know I have an issue with pretending sometimes too much, but, like, sometimes when you force yourself a bit to stop being so grumpy, and you let yourself be in the moment, you actually start to enjoy things. Be nice to your vampire boyfriends. That's my advice, guys. Okay, at the same time, I'm sketched out because, like, she should be, like, making more of an effort. Like, they don't need to force her to have a birthday party. Like, it's kind of weird. Like, it seems like Bella's in a relationship with Alice and Edward. Like, Edward is, like, the boyfriend, and, like, she kisses him, whatever. And then Alice is the person she like actually talks to emotionally and stuff. Like, what? Why is Alice there all the time? Never mind. I mean, I love Alice, but it's like there's a lot of men out there who they can only be emotionally connected to their homies. They only trust their homies. Like, there's things like they won't ever tell their girlfriends to their hom. You know what I'm talking about. Like, I'm kind of getting this vibe. Like, from this book, like Stephanie Meyer did not know how to write just the emotional connection between them, and like Alice is kind of the conduit for Bella's emotional relationship with Edward. Like, am I tripping, guys? Like, because Edward's just like so rude to her. Like, they're just weird to each other, and then Alice just moves it over. So I'm like, is there a third in your relationship? I don't know, you tell me. Okay, so I just finished chapter 2. I'm definitely not a fan of Bella and Edward. There's just like little comments here and there, and it's definitely something like we love Twilight. It's a great series of movies, and like honestly, even the books I do enjoy, but like you look back and there are things here and there that you're like, excuse me, what is going on? And there's little nuggets of like, wow, this is amazing. Like everything with Carlisle when he's stitching up Bella, I really liked, but like, just like when Bella and Edward are alone, it's just not a good vibe, honestly. I think I might head to bed. Let you guys know when something interesting happens, I guess. So it's the morning, I did sleep, and I do work today, but probably listen to it on my way to work and stuff anyways, so I'm honestly really taking it back for now, guys. This book is making me so anxious, like, not in a bad way, in a really good way. Like, it's making me feel like when I was a teenager, really, it's bringing me back to that age, and I kind of really understand why people are coming back to these books right now. Like, yes, there are problematic things about it, but like, wow, Bella being in love, even though like maybe Edward is not the best guy for her, like that's us in high school. Like, if you've seen some of my stories, I used to have a story like dating the bad boy up on my channel. I took that, like I privated that because I think like you could see the name of the person in it and stuff. Like, I wasn't in love with that person at all, but like the sheer anxiety of like knowing like someone was acting a certain way towards you, and like acting, you know, like they were gonna be with you, and like you thought like this person was gonna be more of a constant, and suddenly they start switching it up. You notice like there's certain things you didn't do exactly right, and so it makes you feel like you're not good enough, and like you see this person, you put them up on a pedestal, and you're like, yep. And like honestly, this girl, she's always had to be like hyper vigilant because like what the fuck, the family environment, this mom is like awful. Like, I'm sorry, but Renee is not a good mom. You're literally just putting your love life above your children. I don't understand what the mom is doing in this book or in any of the books, to be honest, because like my daughter ends up in the hospital like that. She's not going back to her daddy. Like, I'm sorry, ma'am. It's really making me anxious because I know it's coming for Bella. I know she's right, and like, you know that feeling when like, because I've had that anxiety, like, oh, this person doesn't really like me anymore, and I was like, no, this is just my anxiety speaking. Like, the biggest experience I had like this was like with a group of friends that I thought were my friends, and then I realized like they didn't really like me as a person, and I'm like, wow, that really sucks. I thought I was just anxious and paranoid about these things, and then turns out I was not being paranoid and anxious about these things, and like that type of shit, it can really change how you feel about yourself, because once your anxiety has been proven right in such a detrimental way, it's like such a blow to self-esteem. And so this book is really, I don't know, helping me process some of those feelings, I guess. Like, fuck the fact that Twilight is not a deep book. I know. Like, I think it just captures that essence of teenagehood. Literal chills. Like, what an insidious moment, the way Edward breaks up with Bella. It's very obvious he is lying to her. Like, he obviously is just trying to protect her. But, like, he is not treating her like a person. He is not treating her like anyone in the relationship. He is, like, confirming her worst fears. And he is abandoning her. Because there is no reason for him to leave. Like, what he is doing to her by leaving is worse than what he would do to her by staying, which if he had any empathy or forethought, he would realize, but he is not. He is just thinking about his own fear, and the only reason he's really doing this is because he is afraid of hurting her and blaming himself. He is only thinking about himself and how Bella makes him feel. He is not thinking about her and her feelings. Like, let's be clear about this. That's my issue with this book. Edward is stuck mentally as a 17-year-old. It makes sense. He is not gonna be prioritizing other people's feelings, but at the same time, she's taking things very face value, which makes sense because she has been very insecure about things, and like, it's basically her worst fears are being confirmed. Girl, like, if she could just differentiate more in that moment where she's panicked, she would realize this doesn't really make sense, like the reasonings he's giving me. And like, if she could in that moment be like, I call him out on his bullshit, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't be able to just leave like that, right? I don't know. I feel like really, if she had made an appeal to his heart, Edward would have folded. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, you have to know how to talk to people, Bella. Honestly, Charlie, I feel really bad for, because basically the way he's talking about it when his wife left him, it's just like kind of hit rock bottom. And like, I feel like maybe he wasn't as much to blame in this situation, where like Renee seemed like very selfish, and like even when he was the one who chose to take care of Bella, like when Bella talks about her being a kid, she's more taking care of her mom than her mom taking care of her, which is very concerning. So yeah, I'm confused. I am confused. I think Charlie was a better dad all along, and he knows this is about Edward, and he knows he can't do anything about it. That's why he's trying to get her to go with the mom, or like, even he's like, you need to talk to a professional about this. It's just like, no, I'm just gonna go to the movies with Jessica. Okay, Dad, bye. Like, what? Ma'am, don't do that. It does feel sad to see Bella as like a former husk of herself. Like, not cool. Like, she is annoying, and I don't like her at times, but I don't like seeing people go through this. She should not be putting all her eggs in this basket. Like, her life should have more meaning outside of Edward. Like, even if he leaves you, you shouldn't have to fall apart. You know what I mean? At this point, we've been dealing with like depression, but like, what she does in this moment, like, that's really throws me off. Thrill-seeking thing, like trying to put herself in danger, that's not like a down spiral thing. That's more of a like upward spiral thing, right? You're going too far up on the spectrum, if that makes sense. This is like the one part I never understood, I guess, of her psychology. I don't know, putting herself in danger like that, because it's not like she's harming herself either. She's putting herself in a situation where she might be harmed. Hallucinating, I just don't know. I don't think that was ever explained, like why she was hallucinating. Yeah, there's a lot of hours left on this book, and I don't know. I'm like halfway through chapter 7 right now. Bella, she's now like friends with Jacob and friends with the humans again, and everything's chill and like vibing, I guess. Again, I'm focusing on the relationship with her parents and stuff like that because it's like more interesting to me than a lot of these things happening in this book. But like, basically, the one time she's hanging out with Jacob and she gets home late, and so her dad ordered pizza, and she feels really guilty about it. And then the next day, like, she's like cooking and stuff, and she's like, oh yeah, I'm making up for it, like, by cooking for him. And it's basically like she is like believing like, oh, if I cook for him and I like keep doing this and I'm good, like, he won't want to get rid of me. I feel like him suggesting like to go back to Renee also like would have affected her. Because I'm sure she, like, felt abandoned by her dad growing up. That's why she's, like, with a guy like Edward. Even though her dad loves her a lot and, like, she needs to talk to him and not be having daddy issues, honestly. That's my opinions about this book. Another good point for me to comment on. But, like, now she's hearing about people cliff diving and my girl's very interested in it. And I'm like, girl, what's going on? What? Cliff diving? Like, yes, there's like fun reasons and like there's people who do it. Like the way Bella's thinking about it is not a good reason. Like it's a concerning reason. Not us getting the wolf pack. Like finally we got to the scene with the wolf pack saves Bella from Laurent, and I'm like quaking and I love it. And yeah, I just wanted to comment on that, and I think I'll say more in a bit, but like for now that's that. Yo, I'm so mad. I'm like editing parts of this video before finishing filming the outro, my final thoughts, and 2 clips just are muted. Like I don't know, I was wearing these headphones and obviously I'm filming on my phone, so I think the headphones didn't have a mic or something. I don't know, it didn't pick up any audio and I did not realize at the time. So from meeting the wolf pack to Emily, I have nothing to say. Seeing the wolf pack for the first time, but I'll basically just tell you my thoughts. Like, and so it's just basically when Bella is also abandoned by Jacob. Like, oh my god, freaking 2 men like do the same thing to her. I mean, I know Jacob wasn't as bad, but I was just like, why are they gaslighting her so much? That was like my biggest like concern. Like, I know they have to keep it secret, but like she already knows about the vampires. Like, really? I thought it was a little stupid. And the gaslighting, I mean, I won't blame Jacob for that. I think that's more of like, I'm putting that one on Billy, actually. I'm putting that one on Billy. Because Billy's like just so rude to Bella this whole book, honestly. And I'm like not here for it. Like, sir, I understand like you're not into her being into vampires, but like she's a teenager, she's a child. I understand why Sam and all the other like Quillet tribe boys are like not into it. You're an adult, cut her some slack. Cut her some slack. Like, these vampires are like, oh, the most beautiful, handsome creatures. Everyone falls in love with them. Like, literally everyone in the high school is in love with them. Bella's no exception. Like, the only exception is their powers don't work on her. Not Emily. Like, hello? Literally, this girl gets assaulted by Sam. I know he was like a werewolf and stuff, but they're mates, so she has to stay with him after he physically assaulted her. Okay. This is why I don't like werewolves in Twilight. This is why, like, the characters themselves, they're lovely people and they deserve better. But, excuse me, like, so many things happen with these werewolves. So inappropriate. Like, why does Stephanie Meyer write it like this? Like, oh my god. Me and Tom really want to go to, like, Forks, Washington, like, the real place. Because I want to visit, like, the actual Quillet tribe and, like, actually learn the truth. Because a lot of the things are made up, and like she'd even like there's no profit that they've made from these movies or books. They haven't seen a single cent. Like always when I'm making a Twilight video, I will have in the description for you guys to be able to donate to the Quillet tribe because they are trying to move their land, and if I remember correctly. And so let's help them, because like at least one good thing can come out of Twilight. Like the way these werewolves are portrayed, these legends she makes up, is very disturbing. knowing that it's based off a real tribe of people. Cultural appropriation. I'm finally with Bella, trying to jump off the cliff. I know, she's Weldon doing crazy shit. Like, what? Honestly, everyone in this freaking book triggers me. They're just stupid and making dumb decisions for no reason. Like, you could die. You could actually die. It's not even like the summer. Like, why would you go cliff diving? I don't know. And then she's just like, well, you wanted me to be human, so here I am. Human, can die, can jump off here, and be unalive. Makes sense to me. Logic. No, guys, please. If you're ever in that situation, don't be Bella. So Alice was just there, and I feel better about things. Her and Bella have so much more chemistry than Bella has with any other, like, male character. Okay, so we know I've been complaining about Bella this whole book, but 70% in, and finally she's taking action. Really? We did have to get to 70% of the book for Bella to be useful, but I am vibing with her. Like, Alice is like, nah, you gotta stay here. Jacob's like, nah, you can't be in danger. She's like, nah, fuck y'all. I'm doing this, like, it's my choice. Like, y'all need to chill, because I'm gonna go save my mans. Even if he said he didn't want to be my mans, I'm, like, still into him. Same girl. I mean, like, I would not be jumping off cliffs, but she went from, like, a passive character to being, like, more proactive now with, like, this whole thing. So now I'm kind of like, this is getting spicy, this is getting interesting. Like, I haven't read these books since, like, grade 6, and, like, it's kind of better than I remembered, and also worse than some parts, if that makes sense. I've kind of always trashed on Twilight, and I think I finally put my finger on why I'm not into it. Why, like, obviously I am into it, I'm obsessed with it, but my biggest gripe with it is the fact that I think Bella herself, the way she talks about herself, the way she thinks about other people, it's very similar to what a lot of young women, when that book came out, thought like. I definitely thought it was super relatable and stuff when I was in 6th grade reading this book. But looking back at this as an adult, basically Alice was like, I want to turn you into the Empire, like, I will bite you, I will turn you. And she's like, oh my god. I know Edward's, like, not into me, but, like, maybe when I'm, like, beautiful and, like, strong, like, he'll be into me. Like, the issue with Bella is not who she is as a person. The issue is that she doesn't love herself, and she's trying to replace that and fill that hole with Edward or Jacob or motorcycles or thrill-seeking. Like, she needs to actually take a hard look at her own life and, like, see why she's unhappy, because she's unhappy always. When is Bella not unhappy in these books? When she's with Edward. If the only thing that makes you happy is your relationship, like, that's not good. If you've seen my video about, like, my mental health and stuff, I struggle a lot with my mental health. And my relationship, like, that's a place where I feel really happy and fulfilled, right? But there's other things in my life, like YouTube, I really love. My job, I like. And it's just, like, you have to have a balanced life. You can't just be, like, jumping off cliffs because a guy moved towns. I'm sorry. I'm still judging it. Like, I just can't move on from it, guys. I can't move on from it. So, the Volturi. So for me, I know everyone loves the Volturi in the movies and stuff. And, like, growing up, I was indifferent towards them. I didn't really care. But now, they're camp. They're fun. They're killers. They're living it up. They're not angsty and weird like Edward. I don't know, I'm just vibing with them in a way I didn't before. Arrow, Queen, the way he spoke to Bella and Alice, it's not like, I feel like in the movies he's just so psycho. Like, I'm just like kind of creeped out by him. I'm like, sir, you okay? But here I'm like, LOL. Like, yes, I can't, like, they're so boring sometimes, like freaking Edward and Bella. They're too intense, they're too much. But, like, why are we getting a Rice Krispie book? Can we get a prequel book about how the Volturi was formed? Like, that's what I want to see. Carlisle has some, like, backstory with him, so, like, let's get more of that. Like, please. I don't know if they explain more in the books. Like, I've never read Eclipse or Breaking Dawn, I don't think. No, I don't think I read them as a kid. And so, like, I only know so much from the movies, so maybe I'm tripping. Maybe they explain more about this. I don't think they do, though. Please, let's start a petition. Or maybe I'll just write a fan fiction about it. Like, what do you think? Why can James use his power on Bella? I honestly don't understand. Why can Jasper use his power on Bella? I don't understand those things. I think that's a plot hole. She's only immune to mental powers. Like, how can he leave a mark on someone with a mental shield? That's my question. Am I tripping? I don't know, guys. I don't know. I tried to search this. I'm like, why could James use his powers on Bella? And it's just everyone's talking about Jasper. So they describe Dimitri's power. Dimitri's like the tracker of the Volturi. And they basically describe his power as an enhanced version of James' power. But they're saying, oh, Dimitri can't follow her. He can't follow Bella. Why can someone with an enhanced version of James' power can't follow her? When James could. Was he following other people? Like, was he following Alice and Edward? Like, am I just misremembering it? Like, did he not mark Bella? Like, I feel like I'm going crazy. Welcome to the end of this video. Just gonna give some overall thoughts now. I have my vampire getup on. I don't know, I was just feeling it for this video, for the outro, and I decided to do it. So if you want to see some transitions of me just shitting the shit and putting on my makeup, you can go on my TikTok. I am gonna post a transition of this look, and the in-between looks like freaking psychotic. So yeah, this book, I'm really happy to have read it. Like, if you see, I kind of dropped the ball. Like, there was some time where I didn't read it, like a week or two. I was just like, ugh, kind of bored, because like it was the point where, you know, Jacob and Bella are just hanging out and shooting the shit, and I was like, okay, I don't really care about them shooting the shit. It was like the same, at the same spot as in like Twilight. They just have such a big lull that cut that out. Like, it did not need to be in the book. But other than that, like, I did enjoy more. It's just like, I think the aspect of world building was more there this book, and like there was more of a plot. I still think Edward's a silly goofy man and Bella's no much better, but whatever, they're meant for each other. So I hope they live together happily ever after, and Jacob can unprint on Renesmee, please. I don't know, I still have to read the next few books, but like, I'm definitely gonna address the imprinting more once we get to that point. It's very disturbing. It's just like, there's no other way to say it. Yeah, like, honestly, the Volturi, I was surprised. That was probably the biggest shock to me, because I was like, I don't really like care either way about the Volturi. Like, but then I was like, oh my god, I love them now. Hee. So I definitely like this book more than Twilight. It's not a great book still. If I hadn't read these books when I was a kid, I probably wouldn't like them now. Who knows? But I will give this a 3 out of 5 stars. I gave Twilight 2 out of 5, so that's the comparison. I mean, it's more maybe 3.5, but I didn't want to go that high, because I was like, okay, let's calm down. This book's still, it's still New Moon. Like, there's more spiciness coming up, I think. Alice Supremacy for the win. If you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay updated with all my videos. And if you want, you can leave a super thanks, but you don't have to. Now, I hope you're having a fantabulous morning, afternoon, or night, whatever time it is for you. I love you guys so much. Mwah!
You'll find the beauty goes much deeper once you get to meet her. You see her walking.